think if we're going to play the big lineup, we got to do a better job defensively. Doing a lot of switching, and their guards are doing a lot of actions that I won't say confusing us, but we just got to do a better job at our switching, our low man. When we get stopped, we're able to get on trans and run. But defensively, our first unit, we came out the game, really well defensively. But overall, they hit 15 threes tonight. We got to do a better job on the defensive end. I think that's where our biggest problem is.
So when comparing tonight's performance to the performance from Wednesday night, do you feel like the offense's character was more in the way that how y'all want to play?
Yeah, I think we play for each other. A lot of tonight we're making the right plays, making the right passes. We missed, some easy ones, layups, open threes, stuff like that. But as far as how we want to play offensively, I think we did a good job with that tonight.
What did you see as far as just the turnovers tonight?
Yeah, 20 turnovers. It's tough to win a game. It's already tough to win basketball games in this league in general. When you add 20 turnovers to that, it's even tougher. A lot of them unforced. We're going in there. We're trying to make the right play, but when you got smaller teams, especially us being bigger, they're going to try to do a lot of swiping and try to get steals and deflections and stuff, and they did that tonight as well. So we just got to be smarter with the ball. And if myself, PJ, and Coop is going to be our primary ball handlers, we got to do a better job of protecting the ball as well, knowing that people are just going to try to pick us up full court. Whether we're getting off of it and then coming to get it at half. But we got to do a better job at that, us three, because that's what teams are going to do. And now we're starting our offense, instead of 20 on the clock, more like 14, 15. So we got to do a better job of that.
Speaking of the moment there, where he seemed to really get in the rhythm, the dunk, the three where he took over. How hard is it for a rookie to know when it's your time to be more aggressive, to take over, and when not to?
Excuse me. He played well. We're trying to give him the ball in his spots. Obviously, he had some mismatches tonight, and we give it back to him, and he do what he do. It's always tough, but when he got it going, we've been talking to him about when to go, when not to go, and when to make the right play, time score situation. But he's getting the hang of it, and like I say, he had that moment, where he kind of did his thing. So, we all still got to understand he's a rookie. It's going to take time, but he's starting to figure out, his spots where he's going to get his shots and at the moments where he take over games.
I know it's only the second game, but where is your comfort level right now in this offense?
Personally, or
personally?
Personally, very comfortable. It's a lot that we can, clean up, and we will clean up, but I think it's just different for all of us. It requires a lot of ball and body movement. And I think from Wednesday to today, it was a difference of how we play on the offensive end. We got, like I said, we got open shots. We got, some back cuts, some curl actions where we got open layups and stuff like that. We just missed bunnies. But for the most part, I think my comfort level personally is I'm very comfortable in this offense. And, as the season go on and we continue to, practice and drill it and get live reps of it, I'm pretty sure all of us are only going to get more comfortable.
As far as the turnovers, do you feel that it's miscommunication, missed assignments, maybe?
No, I think we're trying to do the right thing, man. I had the ball, trying to throw it to Coop on the outlet. He's not used to playing point, so he was taking off, and then he had to come back, and one PJ threw to me. I thought PJ had it, and I was just trying to get to a spot, but he was trying to kick it ahead. So, it's miscommunication, but it's all, correctable. Like I said, it's a little different for, us three, but, we'll get better. We'll look at the film, and, I'll watch it tonight and just kind of figure out how I can be better and how our team can be better.
It's extremely early, but how would you assess the way Cooper's dealt with his first taste of adversity in the NBA?
This is adversity.
Yeah.
What's adversity?
For Cooper, just the 0-2 start to his career and everything. Just how would you say he's handling everything?
Great. Got 80 games left.
Yeah.
You run off 10 straight, and then what? That's how I look at it. And I'm sure that's how he look at it. That's what we talked about. We know we have to be better on both ends of the floor, but the NBA season is a roller coaster. So we're staying positive, and we know we had 2 games, actually 3, Charlotte as well. Some people have been in this building this season. We haven't played our best basketball, so we got 3 more at home. We're gonna take them one game at a time. We got Toronto next, right? So they playing well, good basketball, but that's a must-win for us. Desperate basketball, and we take it from there.
What are some areas defensively that this team can maybe fine-tune going into Sunday's game?
Like I said, I think we playing that big lineup. Our switching, our communication, our talking. I have to look at their lineup and see what they do and what their Toronto schemes are. But tonight they were doing a lot of like guard pick and rolls, and I think PJ is on the ball, I'm on the ball, and Live is guarding the screener. There's some miscommunication there, whether we should switch it or fight over. And I think they got some threes off of that. We're all used to being the bigger guys, being in the screening situation. So miscommunication, but like I say, everything is correctable and internal. So we're beating ourselves, and as long as we're doing that, we can correct it. But we also have to learn from it and be ready for Sunday.
A follow-up on just the fixable things. A lot of that can be fixed with more time on the floor together and kind of getting in a flow and a gel. In your experience in the league, how many games do you guys feel it takes to kind of really get in that good flow?
It just takes a win, to be honest. I think our trust level tonight was, better than our trust level on Wednesday. I think our effort, energy was better. We kind of let our foot off the brake. They made some shots, but we allowed them to make shots. Instead of us kind of forcing them to miss shots. So, I feel like I can't remember his name. The guy who killed us tonight. George. Yeah, George. He got very comfortable. That's kind of been a thing for us, letting the guy come in and just get comfortable. But we have to play with a defensive aggression that we're going to take guys out of games. Not just one guy, but, everybody. So that's the mindset. I'm sure we'll talk about it tomorrow, watch the tape, and then, our mindset is defense. Like, we gotta be a defensive-minded team for all 48 minutes. We can't have it for 24, and then not for the other 24. So it's good for us, though. It's good for us, and me personally, I'd rather it happen now than later, and kind of correct it. So it's good for our group. We've been challenged. I mean, that's what teams gonna do. They see bigger guys on the floor. They're gonna try to run us and just do a lot of screening action and hoping that we mess up. So. We gotta know what teams are gonna do and just be ready for it.
Talk about the other younger guys, whether it's Ryan or B. Will, and how they've been performing these last 2 games.
Good. I mean, Rod's coming in, did a great job of distributing the ball, making shots. And B. Will, obviously with his pace come in and can change the game. So, them guys have been staying ready, and whenever their number get called, come in and try to make a play for us.
There have been a couple times that you've talked about just y'all utilizing that big lineup. I mean, even though basketball is kind of switching to more positionless, would you say there are any challenges that y'all are having to deal with not having a true point guard per se on the offense?
No, I mean, like I said, the only thing that I see, teams are, picking us up full court, which is, I guess different for us. And that's kind of really the only thing. So we starting the offense a little later in the clock. But I mean, that's really it, as far as I see.
Thanks, I do.
Yep.
Appreciate it. You're building a 14-point lead there in the first quarter. What'd you see in the second that allowed Washington to get back into the game and take control?
Yeah, I think when you look at just the flow, we did get off to a good start, and just understand we got to be better in that second. It's kind of like what happened against San Antonio, but this was pretty much for the whole quarter instead of the end of the quarter. So that group has to be better. Turnovers, but our defense isn't up to par. We got to be better. Understand there's always someone going in this league, young or a vet. And, tonight George had a heck of a game.
How'd you see Cooper kind of adapt to their defensive pressure throughout the game? I know he had a few turnovers, but it just seemed like he got it going there in the fourth.
Yeah, I think he's used to the pressure in the sense of being picked up. He was picked up day one in Summer League, and he's going to be picked up if we're going to have him handling the ball. So for him, I think he's getting better. Each time he's in there, he makes big plays down the stretch. But we have to be better transition defense and also taking care of the ball. We had 18 turnovers between three guys. That's not going to beat anybody in this league, and that's what happened tonight.
This is obviously a rough start, losing by 33 the other night, by 10 tonight to a team that had one of the worst records in the league last year. What's your concern level at this point?
Well, it's still early. It's this is game 2. There's a lot that we have to work on, but I think to the positive, I thought the group that was out there got us back in the game. That the energy was high. They were playing the game the right way. It wasn't just one person trying to do it all. And so the defense was the reason why we got back in the game, and then we started to make plays. I thought Hardy coming off the bench gave us a spark. We're going to look to play him. But right now, it's as a whole, as a team, we're not shooting the ball straight. If you're not shooting the ball straight and you have 21 turnovers, no matter what the record of that team you're playing previous, you can be beat, and that's what happened tonight.
What do you feel like you just need to see from D'Angelo to get in there more?
I think just rhythm. I mean, understanding, he had some good looks that just didn't go down. And I wanted to, we got B. Will and Ryan that we're trying to figure out which one that we can play early here in the season. Again, if you're going to play Ryan or suit him up, you got to play him because that's a game that's going to go against you. So understanding just the depth of the team right now at that position, we're shorthanded. And so we're asking him to do a lot. And he's responding in a positive way. For D'Lo, he had good looks that just didn't go down. But again, everyone's going to get another crack at it on Sunday. But we got to come back, and I think we got to do better in that second quarter. Second quarter has hurt us here, obviously. All 3 quarters hurt us the other game, but tonight was the second quarter. We got to be better defensively, and then offensively we got to be able to make shots. We had great looks tonight in the paint, at the free throw line, and behind the 3-point line, and we just didn't make.
I think D'Lo was on the bike there for a bit. Is he okay?
Yeah, I think so. From what I understand, yeah.
With all the turnovers, why not play him in that second half?
I think when the group that got us back in the game was the group we were going to go with, and so he wasn't part of that.
Coach Kidd, before the game, we talked a little bit about the character of the offense from that first game. You said that you felt like the offense wasn't in character and you hoped they would be in character tonight. Do you think that they took a step in the right direction towards being in character, or how would you evaluate?
Yeah, I think it was a lot better. When you're creating shots, you got to make some of them. And right now, we're not making them. And 35 points in the first quarter, you would say that the offense is going in the right direction. And so when you have a 17-point quarter, it's hard because everyone wants to do the right thing. You're going to miss some shots. You're going to make some shots. But the defensive end, we have to be better. And right now, we're not up to par on that end. And a lot of times, our defense is our offense. And so we have to be better.
How hard is PJ making it to leave him on the bench the way he's playing?
Well, I can't play him 48 minutes. He played 40 tonight. And so he'll die before Christmas if we're going to have to rely on him to play 40 minutes. And there's some things that I can't do, and that's just, we can't play him 48 minutes. That's not fair to him. But we're a deep team. Someone's got to pick up the baton. Would I like to play him for more minutes? Yeah, I mean, he's doing everything for us, from guarding to making plays to shooting the three. I mean, he's playing at an extremely high level for us. But 40 minutes, that's a lot here in game two. And he's every night he's taking on the best scorer. So.
Jason, you said the defense is not playing up to par. What specifically on the defense or breakdowns are you seeing that needs to level up?
Yeah, well, one is we can't keep fouling shooters. We're fouling three-point shooters. We did it again tonight, I think, twice or three times. And so that's something that we got to look at and be better. Contesting shots is one thing, but fouling the three-point shooter is another. And right now that's been a bad habit of ours. And then being able to just guard the ball. You got to be able to keep the ball in front of us. And right now we're not doing that.
Your fan base went through the ringer last year, obviously. You hear that frustration, the last minute of the game, they're chanting fire Nico. What do you think about the frustration that the fan base is venting?
Yeah, I think they have a right to vent. But there's a patient. This is a different team. This is a new team. We're just getting to understand each other. We're going to keep learning each other. And so I would say be patient. But I understand the frustration. We all want to win. We all want to compete at a high level. But this is a game of expression, and the fans have a right to express themselves. So, but that doesn't stop us from coming to work tomorrow and getting better and getting ready for Sunday. Thanks.